Good morning, students. So in our last class we discussed about the modulus and arguments, is not it? So we not complete the exercise, we start the exercise 5.2, and from the 5.2 exercise we have done one question. So now today we have to continue this question. So before these questions, lots of questions or lots of doubts we have arise, so that's why some revision we have to do before we have to complete this exercise. Is it clear? So first of all, the angle. So if you see, if we consider an xy plane here, so if we consider an xy plane here, so this one is x dash and here it is y dash. So already we discussed this one. So here we get two types of angles, is not it? So one angle is positive angle in this direction we get, and this angle is in anti-clockwise direction. It is known as positive angle, is not it? And the second one is here we have to draw from clockwise direction, and this one is what? Negative angle. So in case of argument, especially in case of argument, when we have to find out the angle, we can find out the angle in two ways, either in positive direction or in negative direction. So you have lots of confusion to find out the argument. So that's why here again we have to discuss this, and here first of all you have to know angles, positive angle and negative angle. Suppose we need one angle in this quadrant. Suppose if any one angle we need in this quadrant. So all of you know the quadrants here, is not it? So the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and this one is fourth quadrant. So now in this case, if you see, if we need an angle here, then what you have to do? If you see this angle, the whole angle is how much? The whole angle is here 180 degree. So 180 degree, and we have to back here because we need in second quadrant. So that's what you have to write, pi minus something angle, suppose theta. If we need any angle here in clockwise in positive direction, so what you have to write? If angle is theta, if we consider, and if we need in second quadrant, so what you have to do? We have to write pi minus theta, because this angle is pi and we have to back, so that's a pi minus theta. Is it clear? Similarly, if we consider in positive direction, if we need in third quadrant, then what you have to do? Then obviously we have to write up to this it is pi, and then the angle increase here, is not it? So that's why we have to write here pi plus theta, is not it? First of all you have to know this one properly. So in the first quad, no problem, here 0 to 90, so 0 to 90, that means it may be 30, 45, 60, any angle we can write here. And now here in second quadrant we have to write 180 minus theta, in third quadrant we have to write 180 plus theta. And when we get in fourth quadrant, in fourth quadrant we have to use the negative angle also. If we use the negative angle, so minus come here first, and then from here we have to start negative angle, here positive angle. So if any angle lies here, suppose here we get the angle is pi by 4, so what you have to write? To represent the negative angle in negative direction, that means minus pi by 4. So that means this minus pi by 4 means what? Lies on fourth quadrant, because here in opposite direction. Similarly from here to here we get, if we need the third angle, third quadrant here. Suppose again if you see another example here, suppose this one is x and here it is x dash and this one is y dash. Suppose we need one angle in third quadrant, here we need, and we measure in negative direction. So what you have to do? So in clockwise direction we have to measure here, isn't it? So if we measure in clockwise direction up to this, it is what? 180, and the angle decrease here, so that's why what you have to write? Pi minus theta, and in front of this we have to use negative sign. Is it clear? So which minus represent here negative angle. So that means if any one angle represent here in third quadrant, from here to here 180, and then subtract theta here, any angle here theta, so pi minus theta, and the angle is negative here, so that's why we have to write negative. And the same thing if we measure from here up to this, it is pi, and then in third quadrant we have to write here pi plus theta. Is it clear? So these things are very important here. Pi minus theta, pi plus theta, where we get what type of angle here. So if any angle here we need, then what you have to write? Up to this pi, then plus theta. Pi plus theta. But in front of pi plus theta, what you have to write here? If in this direction negative angle, we have to write here pi plus theta in this case, and in front of this one we have to put minus because it is a negative angle. Is it clear? So this one is about angles. So in argument, these angles are very important here, and with the help of these angles easily we can find out the argument here. Is it clear? Okay, now we move to the exercise here, exercise 5.2, and the second question is given here, z equal to minus root 3 plus I. Let's see how can we do this one. Now the second question is given here. If you see here, z equal to what given? Minus root 3 plus I. Isn't it? The question is here, we have to find out the modulus. We have to find out the modulus as well as argument. And the question is given here, z equals to minus root 3 plus I. So how can we find out the argument here? Mainly we have to know this one. Modulus, all of you know. How can we find out? We have to do this one by one here. First of all, what you have to write? So here, given. So first of all here given, this one is question number 2. Given z equals to given here, z equals to minus root 3 plus I. This one is given here. Z equal to minus root 3 plus I given, isn't it? So now here, this one is the real part, this one is the imaginary part. I means what? I into 1. So that's why we have to write here, let minus root 3 equal to r cos theta. We put this one is equation number 1, and then here I means I into 1, so that means we have to write here 1 equal to r sin theta. And then we have to put this one is equation number 2. Is it clear? Okay, now here, after writing this one, now we have to find out this polar coordinates r and theta, isn't it? So we have to find out the polar coordinates r and theta here. So all of you know how to find out this one. What you have to do is squaring and adding this two. So that's why we have to write here now 1 square plus 2 square implies. So what you have to do, we have to add this two. So if we add this to minus 3 whole square plus 1 square. So that's why here we have to write this one is minus 3 whole square plus 1 square equals to, in the right hand side, what we have to write? R square cos square theta, R square sin square theta, isn't it? So that's why we have to write here, taking common R square, and then we have to write this one is cos square theta plus this one you have to write sin square theta. Is it clear? Okay, now after that, if we calculate this one, now you see here, this result is 4 equals to R square. And therefore from here, R equals to, if you take square root here, if we take square root, then R equal to how much we get here? 2. Actually we get here plus minus 2, but we take only the positive one. You know why? When we have to take the square root R square equal to 4, then we get plus minus 2, isn't it? But here we take only the positive one. Reason behind R is what? Modulus of Z. Modulus always positive, we know, isn't it? So that's why here negative is not possible. So that's why we have to take R equals to 2. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next one is here, we have to find out the argument. So for argument, all of you know what you have to do. Already we have done this type of question. So argument, we have to divide 2 by 1. So if we divide here, now 2 divided by 1. So equation number 2 divided by 1. So if you see here, the left hand side, minus root 3 by 1 here, isn't it? So that's why you have to write this one is minus, sorry, what you have to write? 2 by 1, that means 1 by minus root 3. So that's why we have to write 1 divided by minus of root over 3. And in the right hand side, what you have to write? R sin theta by R cos theta. So that's why we have to write this one is R sin theta by R cos theta. Is it clear? So R sin theta by R cos theta we have to write. Now if you see here, if we calculate this one, sin theta by R cancel here. Sin theta by cos theta means what? Tan theta. Tan theta equal to minus 1 by root 3. So now in this case, if we write this one here, so tan theta equals to minus 1 by root 3. This result we get here. Is it clear? Now after this, you have faces lots of problem here. How can we find out the angle theta? This one is the main thing here. How can we find out the angle theta? So to finding the angle theta here, first of all we have to identify the whatever the Cartesian form given here, this Cartesian form, the ordered pair where lies, we have to know. First thing, first point is this one. So now in this case, if you see the real numbers minus root 3 and 1, so negative, positive. So that here the ordered pair is what here? Minus root 3 and 1. So that means negative, positive. So if we check out the quadrant here, suppose if this one is x, here it is x dash, this one is y, and here it is y dash. Clear? So negative, positive quadrant. So negative, positive, is not it? So negative and positive. That means this quadrant, if you see the ordered pair negative, positive, so that means negative, positive in second quadrant. Is it clear? So the angle, whatever we have to find out, the angle we need in second quadrant. So now here this angle we get in two ways. First of all, the positive angle, another one is negative angle. So if we measure from here, then it is negative angle. Is it clear? And if we measure from here, then it is positive angle. So in two ways you can solve this question. So now here if we consider the positive angle, that means up to this it is what? 180, isn't it? Up to this it is 180, but we need the angle in second quadrant. So what you have to do? The angle decrease here, so that's why we have to subtract. If we need the angle here, then we have to add, because angle increase here. So before this we have to put the value of 1 by root 3 here. So now in this case, if you see here, tan theta equals to minus 1 by root 3. What is the value of 1 by root 3? When we get the tan value is 1 by root 3, so obviously pi by 6. So that's why we have to write 10. This one you have to write pi by 6. Is it clear? So we have to write here, in place of minus is remain same, and in place of this one we have to write 10 pi by 6. Is it clear? So now after that we need the angle. So how can we find out the angle here? Let's see. Tan theta equal to minus 10 pi by 6 we get here. Now the angle we need in second quadrant. So if we consider the positive angle here, then what is the form? Up to this it is pi, is not it? And we need in second quadrant. So that's why we write here, in earlier already we discussed, we write pi minus theta. What we write? Pi minus theta, because the angle decrease here. If pi minus theta, if we write here, because the angle lies on second quadrant, here theta, but in place of theta here, theta is what? Pi by 6. So directly we can write here, therefore theta equals to pi. Pi is same, then theta is what? Minus pi by 6. Is it clear? Understood this one? Second quadrant, the positive angle, so that's why we have to write pi minus theta, because in second quadrant tan is what? Negative, so that's why no need to see this one, directly we can write pi minus pi by 6. Ultimately from here theta equal to what we get here? 5 pi by 6. This one is our argument. Is it clear? I think all of you understood this one now. So now if negative angle, if we do, again you see, or in negative angle what we get? This one is in positive angle we get. In negative angle what we get? Let's see here. This one up to this pi, and then angle increase here, isn't it? In which quadrant? This quadrant. So up to this pi, and then we have to write plus theta. Theta means what? Pi by 6. This one is theta equals to, we have to write here pi plus of pi by 6 minus. Now is it clear why we write pi plus pi by 6? Because up to this it is pi, and then the angle increase, so that's why pi by 6 we have to add. But it is a negative angle, so that's why in front of this one we have to use minus. So we can use the angle like in this way or in this way, your choice. You have to use the negative angle as well as positive angle. I think all of you understood this one. Is it clear? So in our last class we just discussed about this one, but there we write 10 pi minus pi by 6, or in earlier question. So that's why you have lots of confusion. I think now it is clear here. Now after finding the modulus and argument here, now the next question is what we have to do. We have to convert this one into polar form, and the question is given here like in this way. If you see the question number 3 here, up to 8 questions are here. So the first one is, if we solve the question number 3, and the question number 3 is given here 1 minus I. So we have to convert this one into polar form. Is it clear? So let's see how can we do this one. So first of all, if you see here the question number 3 here, so this one is, let z equals to what you have to write, 1 minus I. So the complex number whatever given here, this one z equal to 1 minus I. Is it clear? So now what we have to do, we have to convert this one into polar form. So 1 minus I, that means I into 1 we can write. So that means in this case, you see the real number is 1 and 1, isn't it? So that's what you have to write here. First of all, we assume the polar form here. Let r cos theta equals to 1. So this one is the real part, and r sin theta. So r sin theta equal to what you have to write here. This one is also minus 1 here, you see, because the complex number is given 1 minus I, isn't it? So we know the complex number general form is what, a plus iv. So that's why in this case what you have to write, 1 and minus 1 we have to write. Is it clear? So now after writing this one, now we have to put this one is equation number 1, and this one we have to put equation number 2. Now the process, we know what you have to do, squaring and adding. So now squaring and adding, if we do 1 square plus 2 square implies, or 1 square plus 2 square gives us what? If you add squaring and adding, r square cos square theta, r square sin square theta, is not it? So that's why here we have to write this one is r square, and like taking common r square, and then we have to write cos square theta plus this one we have to write sin square theta. Is it clear? Or equals to, now in the right hand side, if you see here 1 minus 1, so that's what you have to write here, 1 square plus minus 1 whole square. Is it clear? So we have to add here 1 square plus minus 1 square. So now here after that, if you see r square equals to what we get, 1 plus 1 2, so that means this one we get 2. So therefore r equals to square root, then we get here the result is what, root 2. Is it clear? So the value of r we get root 2. So the next part is we have to find out the angle here, because we have to convert this one into polar form. So that's why the general form of general form is what, r cos theta plus I r sin theta, is not it? So now here we have to convert this one into polar form. So r we get. Now next we have to find out theta. Okay, so here the complex numbers are r cos theta equal to 1 and r sin theta equal to minus 1, is not it? So now here if you dividing this one to find out the theta, what you have to do, 2 divided by 1. So that means 2 divided by 1 we have to do. So 2 divided by 1, if you do here, you see r sin theta. So equation number 2 is r sin theta divided by r cos theta. Is it clear? And this one you have to write here minus 1 by 1. Or if you write this one, r cancels, so sin theta by cos theta equals to tan theta. Tan theta equals to what we get here, minus 1. And this one is, we can write here tan theta. So when we get the value of tan equal to 1, you keep this minus and just take out this number 1. So when we get 1, so obviously 10 pi by 4. So that's why we have to write this one is 10 pi by 4. Is it clear? So 10 pi by 4 equal to 1. So tan theta equal to minus 10 pi by 4 we get. So now we need the angle. How can we find out the angle here? So for this, first of all, we have to identify the ordered pair where it lies. The complex number where it lies. First of all, we have to check out this one. So that's why here, if you measure this one, or if you draw the xy plane here, x dash y, and this one is y dash. Is it clear? So now here, if you see the coordinate here, ordered pair, positive, negative. So positive, negative. Here in this direction positive, in this direction negative. So positive and negative in this quadrant. According to our complex number here, z equals to 1 minus I, that means positive, negative. So positive, negative, fourth quadrant. So in fourth quadrant, we can measure here the angle in two ways. Already we know, in positive direction or in negative direction. So if we measure in negative direction, it is more comfortable, because here if this one is the fourth quadrant, at first we get here, and if we measure the positive angle, then pi by 2, pi by 2, pi by 2, that means 3 pi by 2 plus something we have to write here, is it not? So here what you have to do here, we have to measure here the negative angle. So that's why in this quadrant we need which quadrant? This quadrant, and the angle is what here? Angle is pi by 4. So if we measure the negative angle here, so that's what you have to write here. Theta equals to, if we measure from this side, negative angle. So that's why the angle is here pi by 4. So we have to write pi by 4, and here it is a negative angle. So that's why we have to write minus here. Is it clear? I think all of you understood this one. In fourth quadrant, so in clockwise direction it is more comfortable to calculate, so that's why we have to measure from here, and the angle is what here? Pi by 4, and angle is negative here now in this case, so that's why we have to write minus pi by 4. So that means theta equal to minus pi by 4 we get. Is it clear? So theta we get here, and r already we get root 2, and theta equal to minus pi by 4. So that means easily we can write down the polar form here. So z equals to what you have to write? Z equals to, we have to write here r common cos theta plus I sin theta. So this one is the polar form, is not it? If you see here, in place of 1, if we write r cos theta, and in place of this one minus 1 r sin theta, if we calculate this one, then we get this answer now here. So r cos theta, the general form of r cos theta, and I r sin theta, this one is the general form, is not it? So in place of r, what you have to put? In place of r, we have to put root 2, and this one is cos, the angle is how much? Minus pi by 4, plus this one is I sin minus pi by 4, minus pi by 4. This one is the angle. Is it clear? So if you calculate this one, then again we get the Cartesian form. A polar form to jodi ami calculate koi diu, ako Cartesian form to pai thakim. Yak jodi calculate koi diu, etu result pai jam ako. Is it clear? So this one is the polar form here. I think all of you understood this one. Okay. So now after completing the question number 3, let's take question number 4, and the question is given here what? We have to convert this one into polar form, and the question is z equal to minus 1 plus I, isn't it? So now in this case what you have to do? Again, if we do the same process, so z equals to what you have to write? Minus 1 plus I. So that means z equal to minus 1 plus I we have to write. So now in this case, the real part, I means I into 1 we can write. So here in this case, if you see here r cos theta, so r cos theta equals to what you have to write? R cos theta equals to minus 1. And in this case, r sin theta equal to what you have to write? R sin theta equal to 1. Real part minus 1, and this imaginary part r sin theta equal to 1. Is not it? So after writing this 2, now if we put this one is equation number 1, and if we put this one is equation number 2, now here what you have to do? 1 square plus 2 square. If we add this 2, 1 square plus 2 square, if we add this 2, then what we get here? You see, r square common, and then we have to write here cos square theta plus sin square theta. Is not it? So cos square theta plus sin square theta we have to write, and the left hand side, right hand side we have to write here minus 1 square plus 1 square. Is it clear? This one you have to write. And now from here r square equals to, you have to write here 2, or this implies r equal to how much? Or therefore we have to write r equals to how much? Here root 2. So the value of r we get here. Is not it? Is it clear? R square cos square theta plus sin square theta, and then if we calculate this one, finally we get the value of r equal to root 2. Why we choose the positive value? All of you know this one already, I told here. So because our modulus of z, positive value modulus, so that's why here negative is not possible. Is it clear? So this one is the value of r. So next we have to find out the value of theta here. Okay, now for finding theta here, what you have to do? 2 divided by 1. So if we do 2 divided by 1 here, so equation number 2 is this one, so that's why we have to write this one is r sin theta divided by r cos theta equals to, what you have to write here? Sin theta means 1 and cos theta means what? Minus 1. Is it clear? R sin theta by r cos theta, is not it? 2 by 1 and 1 divided by minus 1. And now from here r cancel, sin theta by cos theta means here tan theta. Tan theta equals to, here we get minus 1. So now here if we keep this minus here, so tan theta equals to minus, if we keep this minus here, 1 means what? We have to write this one is tan pi by 4. Is it clear? So tan theta equal to minus tan pi by 4. So now in this case, again we have to find out the angle theta. Now before this, first of all we have to check out where the complex number lies, isn't it? So that's why if you draw the xy plane here, that means the argon plane here, x dash, this one is y, and here it is y dash. So if you check out the coordinate here, negative, positive. So negative and positive we need. So which quadrant? So this side negative and then positive. So that means negative, positive. This quadrant we get here, negative, positive. Is it clear? So negative, positive, here we get minus 1, 1. So now in this case, we have to identify, we have to find out the coordinate at this angle in second quadrant. So in second quadrant, if we measure from here the positive angle, so that means up to this pi, and we need in second quadrant, so that's why we have to subtract the angle here. So that means the general form is what here? Pi minus theta. Is not it? So the general form is here pi minus theta. So in this case, what you have to write here? Therefore, theta equals to simply we have to write here pi minus theta. Theta means what here? Pi by 4. Is it clear? Since it is a positive angle, so that's why no need to put here negative minus sign here. So theta equal to simply we get here pi minus pi by 4. I think all of you understood this one. Positive angle, is not it? So if it is positive angle, so that's why pi, and then decrease the angle, so that's why theta. So that's why angle is here pi by 4. So that's why we have to write pi minus pi by 4. And from here, the value of theta equal to how much we get here? 3 pi by 4. Is it clear? So the argument and the value of theta, here we get this one, and the r value is √2. So from here, if we write down the polar form, z equal to r is common, and then we have to write this one is cos theta plus I sin theta. Cos theta plus I sin theta we have to write. And now here if we put the value of r means √2, and this one is cos theta. Theta means how much here? 3 pi by 4. So that's why we have to write this one is 3 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4 plus I sin 3 pi by 4. Is it clear? So this one is our required answer. Or if you want the negative angle, then what you have to write? Up to this pi, then plus theta we have to write. Pi plus theta we have to write, but in front of this we have to put the minus sign because of negative angle. Is it clear? I think all of you understood this one. So in this way you have to complete this exercise. So now here what you have to do, mainly up to question number 4 we have done, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 questions are remain, and these 4 questions are your homework, isn't it? So if any doubt or any question arise there, then you can ask me. Is it clear? So I think all of you understood this one. So in our next class we have to start the quadratic formula here. Mainly quadratic formula already we discussed in our introduction class, is not it? So again we have to repeat this. Okay, thank you.